Okay, this is the demonstration for how to make an empty bowl. So you need a few items. You obviously need some clay. You're going to need a fettling knife, a needle tool, your sponge, a rolling pin. You might want a rib tool, the smooth one. You're going to need a couple other things. You're going to need a plastic bag, and then a bowl form of some sort, and it's up to you which one you want, and there's a whole bunch of different ones that I'll show you at the end where to find them. You also need something to create some kind of texture. So I have some doilies, but it's up to you what you end up using. All right, so the first step is to roll your clay into a slab. So if you use the recycled clay, you want to make sure that you do a really good job wedging this because you are going to flatten this. So the Empty Bowls Project is a fundraiser, and it's for the Brighton Food Cupboard, and I'll explain more about that afterwards. So I'm going to keep rolling this. Okay, so as I'm rolling this here, I'm thinking about the thickness of this. I don't want it too thick and I don't want it too thin. It's gonna end up being a bowl, and you're like something that you eat your cereal out of. So you don't want it too thick, but you also don't want it like paper thin. So what you're gonna do is choose some kind of texture to add. I'm gonna go with this doily. So I'm gonna lightly press that in, and then I'm gonna take my rolling pin and I'm going to start to roll this right into the clay. I'm making sure that I'm rolling all sides so the texture really shows up. Okay, I'm going to use my needle tool to try to peel this out of the clay here. Ooh, that looks really cool. Okay, so I've got my texture, and now I need to cut, obviously, a shaped bowl. So what you can do with these forms, these different bowl shapes, is you can actually use this as your template. So you kind of turn this over, and then what I'm going to do is take my needle tool and trace this. You know, it just depends on what size you want. It's totally up to you. I'm not pushing the bowl down through the clay. I'm tracing it. And then I'm going to lift it up, and then I'm going to use my fettling knife, which is nice and clean, and I'm going to cut this out. So here, here's the thing with the bowls. You can either drape this slab with texture over the back of the bowl, or you can place it on the inside, and either one is fine. So I'll keep cutting here. Okay, so I've got that done. So now what I need to do is I'm going to smooth the edges of this. So I'm going to gently pick this up, maybe. And I'm going to use my sponge and I'm going to smooth the edges. This is a little easier if you have a clay, a slab that's not so big, but it will still work. So I don't want any rough edges on a bowl. You can imagine they would be sharp. So I'm going to use my sponge and I'm going to keep going all the way around this and make it nice and smooth. Pretend I did that whole thing there. And then I'm going to take my plastic bag. And so I did say you had two options. You could drape this over the back of the bowl, or you could put it on the inside. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to show you both ways here. But you always want to have the plastic bag so that it doesn't stick to the bowl form. So I'm putting my plastic bag on the inside here. And then I'm going to take my clay. And before I put this in here, I have to decide, do I want the texture on the inside of my bowl or on the outside? I want the texture on, I'm just going to say the inside of the bowl this time. So on the back of this, I'm going to write my name. And I'm going to write EB. And EB stands for Empty Bowls, and I'm going to put 2016 on the back. Okay, so then this is going to very carefully lay down right inside this bowl. I'm going to push down gently on this, and I keep going back and I'm pushing against the side so I don't get like a weird wrinkle on the edge of my bowl. Just be gentle. Don't like try to force this too much. Okay, so then I can still go back again and I can use my sponge and I can smooth out this. I can also use my fingers to kind of smooth out the edges as well. Okay, so let's say you want to drape this over the other side. So I'm going to show you that now. So hold on one second while I flip this. So if I want to drape this over, I'm going to put the plastic bag on the other side. I want the texture on the inside, which means I'm going to put my name and stuff on the outside, so it can go like this. Now, the thing with this particular bowl is it has a little bit of, they call that a foot. It's got this little like textured part right here, so that's going to show. That's why I actually went with the, putting it on the inside, but that's up to you. So then I would gently press down on this, and then I would leave it. I would, make sure the edges are smooth, make sure it's nice and cleaned up, and then I'm going to leave it right in this bowl, and this is going to go into your clay cabinet on any of the shelves, or it can go in your cabinet where your folders go, just on one of the two shelves below your folders. So I'm going to show you where to find the bowls. So you're going to come with me for a moment here. All right, bowls can be found on that second shelf right there. So right next to the sink on the second shelf, there's a whole ton of options. So see down here, see all these tons of choices of different bowls in there. There's paper ones, there's all sorts of choices. So you make your choice on what you want. All right, good luck. Can't wait to see what you make.